Bsam, English language teacher from Twitter School, and with me is my friend
Malack دربال. I'm also an English language teacher in Ahmed at عمارة High School in الكاف.
We are here to provide you with some tips and also some documents to help you get ready for the approaching exams.
We hope that by the end of the session you will feel more equipped and motivated to do your best. We're wishing you all the best of luck. Remember that preparation is key and you are capable of achieving great results. Let's get started.
So these are some QR codes. They are very important for your revision. The first one is for the Bac website. You can just scan the QR code and you will get to the website. The second one is about the review PDF document that includes a lot of information that will be very important for your preparation for the exam. You can just scan the QR code, and we have got another slide about this at the end.
Let's start with some general exam tips for success. The first thing that you should keep in mind is that you have a flexible exam order. There is no fixed order to complete the English exam. You can start with reading, with language, with writing, based on your preference.
Time management is key here, so don't forget your watch. Bring your watch and manage your time, because the 2 hours you need to plan your time and plan the time for each section of the exam.
You should also read instructions carefully. Make sure that you understand the question before answering, even if you are familiar with the question from previous exams.
Review your answers, so when you write your answers, check the grammar, the spelling, the capitalization and punctuation before leaving, and there is no need to leave the exam before finishing the whole time.
Let's start with the first section, which is reading comprehension. There are many ways to approach the reading comprehension texts. For example, you can choose to read all the questions first and then move on to the text, to reading the text, or read the whole text and then go to the questions and read them thoroughly. We will provide you with some typical reading comprehension questions today and tricks to get around these questions. One very common question asked in exams is that you take the most appropriate main idea from options closely related to the text, but there is only one correct answer. The exam that we are going to focus on as an example today is from 2022, section sciences expérimentales, session principale. So to find the correct answer here, you should read the text carefully, eliminate options that are not mentioned in the text, and then choose the idea that is present throughout the text, that is in all 3 paragraphs. The main idea should be consistent across the entire passage and not limited to one section. Here you can, as a student, you can pause if you want, read the text, thanks to the QR code link that we provided, and then listen to the correction. So here, the 3 options provided is that the text is mainly about a woman who made it to the top in management, built a career despite difficulties, or improved nutrition to make money. The first option here should be eliminated immediately because it is not mentioned in the text. From the 2 other options, you should be careful which one is mentioned throughout the text and which one is mentioned in only one sentence or one small section of the text. Which one is the correct answer, Mr. Bsam?
Okay, for me, I opt for the second answer. Why? Because here already the question says mainly about. So this is very important. So the majority of the text is about the second option, which is built a career despite difficulties. So the second one, or the number 3, was mentioned, yes, but it was not. The majority of the text was not about that idea. So here, always eliminate the first one, which has got no relation with. You will end up with 2 options. Choose the most appropriate one.
Moving on to another type of question, thank you so much. Moving on to another type of question, which is working with false statements. For false statement questions, find one detail from the text that proves that the statement is false. The answer should be a direct detail from the text and not be written in your own words. Focus on the relevant paragraph that the question guides you towards, for example, paragraph 1, and identify the single detail that contradicts the false statement, because there is only one answer. This detail may be a phrase, a clause, or a whole sentence, but not necessarily. Don't forget, you should not write more than one sentence in this exercise. So step number 1, you should focus on the paragraph related to the statement. Step number 2, find the details that contradict the false statement because they are false. And step number 3, use the exact text detail as your answer. Another type of question, often found in baccalaureate exams, is understanding the logical order of events and cause-effect relationship. For example, texts often tell a story with the events linked by cause and effect. In the text, you can look for clues such as before, therefore, as a result, etc. If you do not have these clues, you can identify the logical order of events to help yourself answer questions about causes and results effectively. We took the example of this exam from 2024, Sciences Techniques, Session Principale. Here, the result provided is that Jake goes to nursery 5 days a week. We need to look for the cause. How can we find the cause, Mr. Bsam?
Okay, so I'll just rely on what you said. You said you can use the logic. So here I'll just focus on the sentence just before the result to find the cause, which is Frances and her husband work full-time. So here I use it with one of the strategies that Miss Melaik mentioned, which is looking for logical links or logical order between the cause and result.
Thank you so much. Another type of question is a vocabulary task in which you are required to find words or expressions that have similar meanings to the ones provided. In this exercise, you should focus on the paragraph specified, consider word forms, and eliminate options by context until you find the correct synonym or expression. Let's focus on this example from the same exam previously mentioned. Here, you should look for synonyms to the words attempt or effort. Can you tell me what is the word form of the word attempt and effort, Mr. Bsam?
Attempt or effort, so it's a noun here, so we need to find a noun as a synonym.
Good. Let's work on the second example together. Obvious and clear. These two words are?
Adjectives.
Adjectives, thank you. So we should look for an adjective in the paragraph. Limit yourself to paragraph 3. Identify the adjectives in that paragraph and then start eliminating them one by one. The correct answer here is?
Stark.
Good. Reference questions are also always available in reading comprehension tasks. Reference words like pronouns, you, myself, your, demonstratives, and relatives refer to something mentioned in the text. Use context from the sentence, surrounding sentences, and the whole paragraph to identify what the reference word refers to. So it can be in the same sentence, in the sentence before or after it, or in the paragraph as a whole. An example from the same exam is, this gadget refers to what? If we go back and read the previous sentence, we're going to find that this gadget refers to a phone jail mechanism. The last example of questions we're going to work on for the reading comprehension is giving a personal justified answer. Some exams ask you for personal opinion with justification, usually at the end of the reading section. Try to answer it by agreeing or disagreeing and supporting your opinion with your own reasoning and not a sentence from the text. giving a sentence from the text means that the answer is not going to be accepted. Let's take this example from Sciences Techniques, session principale 2022. Do you think that Zhang made the right decision when he opted for returning to his hometown? First of all, we should state the opinion and explain. Can you read the answer, Mr. Bessam?
Yes, so I think that Zhang did make the right decision because he wants that.
If we say because he wants that, that's not a justification that supports your opinion. It's not enough to explain the reason of your choice. Rather, we can opt for an answer like this one, which is
because living in this city offers better public transportation and services.
Very good. Thank you so much. What to remember from all that has been mentioned is that, first of all, you should manage your time, use a watch, and plan your time wisely across all exam sections.
Read carefully and understand all the instructions and questions fully before answering.
Use text clues. Look for logical links, synonyms, and reference words to find the answers.
While expressing your opinion, support it with personal answers and a clear original reasoning.
Moving on to the second part of this session.
Okay, the second part is the language part. So we'll start with some general tips. So we start with the time management. So try to allocate 30 to 40 minutes to avoid rushing. Second, read all the paragraphs before answering. This is very important. You can also start with any task, the blank filling task, the 10-4, multiple choice. It's up to you to start with any one of them. Always here, start with the easy answers. This is very important to help you get as many correct answers as possible. And eliminate, of course, incorrect options early. Second, think about the subject-verb agreement. This is obvious, but always think about it because the day of the exam, you are off at the time, so sometimes you forget that. So, must singular and plural subjects with correct verbs. Third, check and double check the spelling and word forms because any spelling mistakes will be considered as an error in the exam and won't count as a correct answer. Here is an example of the math session principale 2024. So here, Ms. Malik, how do we do such tasks? So when it asks to fill in the blanks with 6 words from the list below, what do we do first?
I will start by taking your advice, which is reading the whole paragraph first, and maybe then read the words in the box.
Yes, very good. That's it. So you need to read the list first and identify the parts of speech of these words, and we are going to go back to that at the end of this slide. Second is the
blanks.
Focus
on the blanks.
Yes, we will focus on the blanks. So try to figure out what you need in each one of the blanks. So this is all before starting to answer. And also there are some clues or words that can help you. For example, here and. We know that the same structure is used before and after words like and or. Another thing is the parts of speech or the whether the word is a verb, a noun, or an adjective. That would be very helpful to find out the correct answer. So we'll start with an example of word form, a gap filling task. And here you need first to analyze the sentence context and determine if the missing word is a noun verb. So that's why we read the list to identify whether the word that we need is a noun or a verb or an adjective in the blanks. Second, rely on the prefixes and suffixes. These are very helpful to identify what you need to write. And third, consider word position because some things like adjectives that are placed always before nouns are very helpful to make you take the right decision on which one to choose. And of course, we provide you here again with another QR code that can help you to learn more about the parts of speech Suffixes, especially here, help you identify the different types of words. Signal words, when it comes to the tense and form tasks, are paramount. They are very important here, so you need to be aware about them. So try to look for signal words. These are very helpful, can help you find the correct answer. Like ago, next year, currently, since. These are very important to identify which tense to be used. Second, check the auxiliary verbs and modal verbs like have, has, will. These are very important to make the correct choice. Again, maintain consistency. For example, in one sentence, ensure that you use the same tense. And here, as an example, we've got the science exam 2022. So here, Ms. Malik, can you please read the question?
Put the words in parentheses in the appropriate tense or form.
So here, how would you opt for the answer here? What would you do to answer the correct sentence?
I think that the right thing to do is to read, after reading the whole paragraph, of course, to read the sentence and not just stop at the blank. So see what's before and after that blank.
Yes, so before we've got interesting.
Good.
Yes.
So there's a very interesting and controversy. So since we have the word and here, maybe we should use the same word form. We have interesting, which is an adjective. So maybe controversy should be an adjective too. We can double check this by looking at what follows. We have a noun, debates. So again, debates is a noun that should be described using an adjective. So maybe the right answer is controversial.
That's right.
Which is an adjective, of course.
Yes. Again, here for the verb to live here, how can we find the correct tense to conjugate this verb?
In the last sentence, we have in 2020, so the right tense should be a past tense, and more specifically, the simple past. And leave in the simple past is an irregular verb, so it's left.
Yeah, that's it. So as you can see here, this is again a proof that looking for signal words, looking for some clues that can help you are very important in order to get the correct answer. Another strategy, along with the signal words, is the collocations and context. So if the other strategies fail, there is always another way to do it. So sometimes collocations and context can help you identify the correct answer. So I mean by that common words, pairs like the use of natural collocations like depend on, evidence of, look at. So these are collocations that can help you find the correct preposition or noun or verb. Again, contextual logic, choose words that fit in the sentence and have got a logical meaning. Here again, this can help you. And for that, we provided also another QR code that can take you to the website that has got so many information about the different collocations. Now we move on to the guided writing part. So, compared to the free writing, the guided writing seems to be easier, a lot easier, but it has got its own strategies. So the first strategies that you need to be aware of is that in the guided writing you have to follow the instructions. And I mean by that, the length of the paragraph, because so many students tend to write more than 5 or 4 lines, and also to use all the prompts provided, and I mean all the prompts. The second strategy is to organize your ideas logically. And by the way, try to avoid changing the order of the box in which the items are provided. So try to keep a logical order. And also when it comes to biographies, try to think about chronology again here. Third is you can paraphrase and also use connectors to make your paragraph look coherent without touching the meaning of the paragraph. Here is an example from the Session Principale 2023 Math exam. Ms. Malik, would you please read the question?
Use the notes below to write a 4-line paragraph about Doctors Without Borders. Okay, so here, as you can see, you are provided with a box that has got information about foundation, the mission, the past achievements, and the award. And we've got here
sentences that are separated with slashes. So bear in mind that slashes here stand for something. You need to do something here. You add a preposition, you need to change the form of a verb, linkers, even punctuation too. So let's read the first sentence.
Doctors Without Borders is a non-profit organization that was founded in 1971 by 13 physicians and journalists.
Thank you. As you can see here, the first thing to mention is the topic of the paragraph, which is always mentioned in the question. You have to mention what is the paragraph about. And second, as you saw, Miss Melaik changed the tense here, and she used the simple past tense and the passive voice here because it's 1971. And also, she tried to replace these slashes with verbs, and also changed the order here of some words, but without touching the whole meaning. Because if you can change the meaning, if you don't change the meaning, it's okay to alter the order of the words. But we have to use all the prompts. Second sentence, I read it myself. Its main mission is to supply medical care to people affected by wars, epidemics, and natural disasters.
Moreover, it has provided food for refugees and helped fight diseases such as malaria and tuberculosis.
As a result of its remarkable humanitarian efforts, it received the Nobel Peace Prize in 1999. And you notice here also the use of linkers like moreover, and as a result of this is to make the paragraph a compact one, because it's not just a group of sentences. We've got to add some connectors to make it look coherent and as a whole paragraph. So things to avoid. So the common errors that you need to avoid. I need to remind you again, don't miss key information. Means include all the information that you are provided with. Second, don't ignore the slashes. They are very important because they provide you with some clues on where to change, on what to add. And avoid also run-on sentences. This means use your punctuation. And finally, use formal tone. A final checklist of a successful guided writing is a complete information. This means using all the information again. Logical structure. The paragraph has got a logical structure that is always clear when we read the paragraph. Next, grammar accuracy. This means check your verb tenses, the verb and agreement, and the word forms. And finally, the appropriate style. Use formal language. And over to you.
Thank you so much. Moving on to the last part of this session, which is free writing. The first thing that you should do after reading the topic is trying to understand it. That is by, number one, identifying the key word or words. Number two, identifying the required form. And number three, staying on topic. Let's see how we can do that. We took the example of this topic from last year's, from the 2024's Baccalaureate exam, section lettres, session principale. Can you read the topic, please, Mr. Bessam?
While surfing the internet, you came across the following Facebook post. If you want to enjoy life, disconnect from the mass media. Do you agree or disagree? Write it while relying for a Facebook command in which you express your opinion about the post. Support it with at least 3 sound arguments.
Let's try to use the tips that are written in this topic, for this topic. Identifying the keywords. Which keyword do you think we should highlight in this sentence?
I think mass media is a keyword here.
Mass media is the theme and the topic that we're going to focus on in this paragraph. Then we should move on to identifying the required form. What are we asked to write here, for example?
So here it's a Facebook command.
Yes. A 12-line Facebook command.
Yes.
It can be a letter, a speech, depending on the topic. And remember, of course, to stay on topic and focus on what is asked of you. You should also consider your audience. Who is this piece of writing addressed to? Identify your audience to choose the right tone and language. For example, in this topic, we were asked to write a Facebook comment or post, so we can use informal language suitable for friends and followers. Moving on to planning for your paragraph now. The first thing that you should do after reading and understanding the topic is brainstorming ideas. You should think of ideas that are related to the topic of mass media before writing anything. The second thing is to state your opinion. Choose whether you agree or disagree with the statement mentioned. For example, you can say, I think that disconnecting from mass media helps enjoy life more. This is your point of view. Number 3, you provide a list of arguments that support your opinion with you can even add examples if necessary. Let's work on the supporting arguments for the arts exam that has been mentioned. The first argument provided can be distraction. Mass media distracts people from real moments with loved ones. The second idea can be stress reduction. Disconnecting lowers stress levels effectively. And number 3, more free time. Disconnecting allows time for hobbies and outdoor activities. These can be the 3 arguments that are meant to support our opinion. Now that your ideas are clear and you wrote them in bullet points, you can start writing your first draft. Don't forget to use linkers. Connect your ideas logically for clarity. When you move from one idea to another using linkers such as also, besides, moreover, it makes your paragraph will make more sense and ideas will be disconnected one from another. Number 2 is try to explain your arguments. Provide examples to support your points. Sometimes if the argument is written in a sentence and it is not clear enough, the example will help its reader understand the meaning that you're trying to give. Number 3, don't forget to wrap up. End your paragraph with a strong concluding sentence that will wrap it up. Don't forget to review and edit your first draft. You should check capitalization. Ensure proper use of capital letters. Correct your punctuation. Use punctuation marks accurately. And fix spelling. Eliminate any spelling errors that you can identify. Final tips. Take your time to read the topic carefully. Write clearly and stay focused. And don't exceed the 12 lines that you are asked to write. And keep in mind that your unique opinion matters. Instead of learning a paragraph at home and by heart and trying to rewrite it at the exam, try to make sure that your opinion and your paragraph and your ideas are unique. They are your own.
Again, here I need to remind you again about the QR codes. So the first one is for the Bac website that you can access, where you find so many exams, including the ones mentioned in this session, and also the PDF, which includes a whole review of the Skills for Life program for the Bac students. You can scan the QR code and just use your mobile devices to get access to the PDF. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and we hope that this session has been helpful and that you do your best in the exam and succeed.
Yes, we did this in just 2 days, I think.
Yes,
with the help of Mr. Habib Shani, the ELT inspector in KAF Regional Board, and thanks again to the KAF Regional Board with all its staff that provided us with this room and the cameras and everything. Thank you very much, and we hope that this session brings some, let's say, help to you to nail your exams and succeed, inshallah. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.